never realizing the glowing blaze in the landing gear bay hidden under the aircraft. With the chaos in the cabin as the passengers held on to their luggage. Being amongst one of the safest airlines in the world, with over 36 years of excellent flight safety, Emirates, however, has been involved in one of the major incidents in its lifetime of operations. Emirates Flight 521 was a routinely scheduled international flight from Trivandrum International Airport in India to Dubai International Airport in the United Arab Emirates. On the 3rd of August 2016, the aircraft carrying 282 passengers predominantly from India, returning back to their home countries for vacations, and 18 crew members, including the two pilots, crashed upon landing at the Dubai International Airport. Both the pilots were extremely professional and had over 15,000 flight hours under their belt combined. At 10:34 Indian Standard Time, EK521 took off from the Trivandrum International Airport, the 14th busiest airport in the whole of India, and which handles more than 4.4 million passengers every year. The duration of the flight was 4 hours 5 minutes, and EK521 was scheduled to land at Dubai International Airport at 12:24 GST. There haven't been any problems up till now. At 12:30 GST, 4 minutes until landing, EK521 began its approach and contacted the ATC for runway 12 left to be assigned. Making matters worse, the weather at Dubai created an approximately 13 knot tailwind, to which in its magnitude is safe for the pilots to land. The runway 30 right, facing the opposite direction of the runway 12 left at the Dubai International Airport, however, had a similar tailwind of the same magnitude. This bizarre situation caused a wind shear to develop in the middle of the runway. Wind shears being one of the most dangerous weather related threats towards flying and are extremely unpredictable in wind speeds and directions, making it difficult to control the aircraft. Minutes before EK521 had lined up with the runway 12 left, two of the Boeing 777 of Emirates had to abort the landings after encountering wind shear but never conveyed this information to the controller. Now, this created a communication gap between the ATC and the Emirates Flight 521, who were expecting light wind shear according to the weather reports provided by the United Arab Emirates National Center of Meteorology and Seismology, the NCMS. Now, after descending through 16,000 feet at 8:34 UTC, the flight crew armed the speed brakes, selected flaps 30, and lowered the landing gear, thereby completing the landing checklist. Right when the Boeing 777 arrived over the landing threshold of the runway and was heading straight towards the wind shear region, the tailwind soon transitioned to a headwind, to which the airspeed started to increase, which in turn increased the lift generated by the wings, a complete opposite effect needed when landing. The EK521 is currently 300 meters beyond the landing threshold of the runway now, skimming and flaring along the runway.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Neither of the crew were aware of the increased airspeed and were focused on scanning externally. According to the data provided by the flight data recorders, the captain tried to attempt the aircraft touchdown by pushing the control 3 times to lower the nose. At exactly 8:37 UTC, the right main landing gear had contact with the runway, approximately 1090 meters beyond the runway threshold. As the end of the touchdown zone was getting closer, the crew initiated the decision of go around. If a pilot during an approach finds it unstable and wants to attempt the landing again, he could activate an auto throttle setting, which is called the toga switch, as shown, which will increase the power to take off again. This can also be activated by manually moving the thrust levers to a position. Now, here's the catch: the toga switches hinder after landing. If accidentally pressed, would lead to a runway excursion by the pilots, or even a disaster as a matter of fact. However, the auto throttle system remains functioning, but if sensors sense the weight on the wheels upon landing, the toga switches do not respond and have to be manually increased by the pilots. Being unaware that the aircraft had touched down, the captain of the Emirates Flight 521 initiated the go around procedure, which requires you to retract the flaps and activate the toga switch. The pilot in command pulled the nose up to a climb, not realizing the need for manual input to the thrust levers, thereby failing to provide any engine power needed for the go around. At this time, it was already too late. The captain applied full manual thrust to the levers, but the shifting wind and the wind shear made it impossible for the Boeing 777 to climb.
Don't sink. Pull up.
The EK 521 slammed the lower fuselage towards the runway. Since the landing gear was retracted before, the aircraft slid down the runway on its belly, impacting anything on its way, as the 282 passengers and the 18 crew members held on to their lives. The Wright number 2 engine, upon runway contraction, separated from the wing as the Boeing 777 came to a rest after it spun 180 degrees adjacent to the taxiway Mike 13 and 70 meters right side of the runway center line. Now covered by cloud dense smoke and dust as the fire started from the left number 1 engine. None of the 300 passengers and the crew on board were injured, but evacuation was a big hurdle to achieve. As the fires quickly erupted from both the engines and the right main landing gear bay, flight attendants, however, were waiting for the pilots to initiate the evacuation checklist. Soon, the flight attendants deployed 10 emergency exits on board the Boeing 777, but only the 3 exits at the back were usable. The rest of them were either blown away by the wind or blocked by the smoke, and some did not even deploy. With the chaos in the cabin as the passengers held on to their luggage and retrieving them from the overhead bins as they evacuated, the fire trucks were parked right in front of the exit routes, making matters worse. As the fire trucks sprayed down the enraging fire without any coordination and were busy stabilizing the exit evacuation slides for the 300 passengers on board, never realizing the glowing blaze in the landing gear bay hidden under the aircraft. As the evacuation took longer than expected, the uncontrolled fire in the landing bay compartment spread to the entire fuselage of the EK 521 and launching a 15-meter long section of the right wing as shown by the video. As the evacuated passengers and the firefighters ran for their dear lives, the wing, however, plunged and struck a firefighter, killing him at the spot. Additionally, 8 of the first responders were injured, and 5 being hospitalized due to extreme temperatures. Now, assisted by Emirates, Boeing, Rolls Royce, and the National Transport Safety Board, the General Civil Aviation Authority of the United Arab Emirates carried out an investigation into the incident, and a final report was released on the 6th of February 2020, which listed causes and recommendations to prevent similar incidents in the future. The aircraft's insufficiency to sustain flight due to engine thrust levers remained idle. The flight crew's inability to scan and monitor the primary flight displays and its parameters during the two most important events, the landing and the attempted go around. The captain and the first officer were not aware that the auto throttle had not responded after switching on the toga switch at the go around and the missed approach procedure. The report also praised the professionalism carried out by the cabin crew during the successful evacuation of the 282 passengers on board. The General Civil Aviation Authority also issued safety recommendations for weather briefing for pilots and a complete overhaul of the firefighting operations and training at the Dubai International Airport and the surroundings. Further recommendations were also issued to the manufacturer of the aircraft, Boeing, and to the Emirates. Most importantly, the flight crew's over reliance on automation and lack of training in the go around procedures are what impaired the flight crew's performance. In the end, it is difficult to blame an individual for the root cause of this incident, but lessons and the safety recommendations from such incidents are what makes the aviation industry the safest mode of transportation. What other air disasters would you like me to cover? Please comment down below. I hope you leave a like and subscribe to my channel for podcast interviews and air disaster episodes.